It was 1937. Germany was under new management. The Nazi regime had an idea, a car for everyone. They called it the Volkswagen, meaning people's car. The vision was grand, every hard-working German family with a set of wheels. This car needed to be affordable, robust, and ferry a family of 4. Enter Ferdinand Porsche, tasked with bringing this people's car to life. The design brief was challenging: rear-mounted engine, air-cooled, capable of cruising at 100 kilometers per hour. Porsche's design was rounded, distinctive, like a Beetle. Officially it was the KDF wagon, but the Beetle stuck. Porsche's genius was in its simplicity and potential for mass production. A massive new factory was constructed in a purpose-built town, later named Wolfsburg. Production was supposed to be on an enormous scale. Ordinary Germans paid into a savings scheme, eagerly awaiting their own car. But history had other plans. The production line soon built very different machines. The whole People's Car project wasn't entirely innocent. It was also a tool for propaganda, showcasing German might. The new autobahns weren't just for scenic drives. The car itself, the Beetle, was a brilliant piece of design, but its origins were tied to a regime and an era of immense darkness. A complicated start for what would become a global icon. The dream of affordable motoring was potent, but history had other plans. The Beetle's origins were tied to a regime and an era of immense darkness. Then World War II happened. All plans for civilian cars went out the window. The Wolfsburg factory started churning out military vehicles. One famous example was the Kubelwagen, a Beetle in army boots. The factory and the dream were battered by the conflict. Civilian Beetle production halted. After the war, Germany was in ruins. The Wolfsburg factory was a mess. The British Army took control, and Major Ivan Hurst saw potential in the Beetle design. Hurst persuaded the British military to order 20,000 Beetles, saving Volkswagen from extinction. Slowly, Beetle production ramped up. It became a symbol of German recovery. The little car was cheap, reliable, and exactly what people needed. In a country rebuilding itself, the Beetle offered hope and mobility. The Beetle represented resilience, a plucky survivor much like the nation. Its distinctive shape started to appear on roads across Germany, then Europe. From the ashes of war, the people's car was finally becoming a reality, and it was about to take on the entire world. The Beetle became a global phenomenon, especially in the 1950s and 60s. America, in particular, went mad for it. Its quirky looks, fuel efficiency, and sheer dependability won hearts. Volkswagen's advertising was genius. The Beetle became a counterculture icon, a symbol of anti-establishment cool. From Nazi project to beloved bug, quite a journey. The Beetle's journey from war machine to global icon was remarkable. As the Beetle's fame exploded, Volkswagen started to look outwards. The 1960s and 70s were a time of serious global expansion. New factories were built in places like Brazil and Mexico. Volkswagen was becoming a true multinational corporation. A key move was the acquisition of Auto Union in 1964, which would eventually become Audi. This acquisition gave VW access to new technologies and a platform for moving into more upmarket segments. But even icons can't last forever. The Beetle was getting old. By the late 1960s and early 1970s, competition was heating up. Japanese manufacturers were bringing out small, efficient modern cars. The Beetle was starting to feel dated. Volkswagen knew they needed something new, and that next big thing arrived in 1974, the Golf. This was a completely different animal from the Beetle. Front engine, front-wheel drive, water-cooled, and a hatchback. Designed by Giorgetto Giugiaro, it was an instant hit. The Golf was practical, fun to drive, and economical. It quickly became the new benchmark for small family cars. The Golf effectively saved Volkswagen, taking over from the aging Beetle. A new champion was born, setting the template for decades to come. The Golf's success marked a new era for Volkswagen. The Golf became the new people's car, just like the Beetle before it. Volkswagen's future was now tied to the Golf. The Golf's success ensured Volkswagen's place in the automotive world. The Golf was the new icon for a new generation. Building an empire. The Volkswagen Group takes shape. With the Golf leading the charge, Volkswagen was becoming a proper automotive empire. In the 1980s, the company's structure was formalized as the Volkswagen Group. This structure allowed for shared development, production, and purchasing power. One of the first major additions was Seat in 1986. Seat cars became known for their sporty styling and Latin flair. Next on the shopping list was Škoda from the Czech Republic. Volkswagen invested heavily, turning Škoda into a massive success story. Meanwhile, Audi was being carefully nurtured. Audi transformed into a genuine premium brand, a direct competitor to BMW and Mercedes-Benz. A key moment was the launch of the Audi Quattro in 1980. Four-wheel drive in a performance car, revolutionary. Audi focused on innovation, quality, and sophisticated design. Models like the Audi 80, 100, and later the A4 and A8 cemented its premium status. Audi became the technological spearhead of the Volkswagen Group. The Volkswagen Group's strategy was to dominate the European car market and beyond. Each brand had its own identity but was part of the larger VW family. This strategy allowed Volkswagen to cater to different markets and customer bases. The Volkswagen Group's growth was strategic and calculated. The group's success was built on innovation and smart acquisitions. Volkswagen was now a true automotive giant. Luxury, power, and a rather nasty smell. The Dieselgate years. By the late 1990s, Volkswagen Group was feeling confident. They decided to go on a luxury shopping spree. In 1998, they acquired Bentley, Bugatti, and Lamborghini. Bentley sales soared with new models like the Continental GT. Bugatti was resurrected with the Veyron, an engineering marvel. Lamborghini was revitalized under Audi's management. The Volkswagen Group now had an unmatched portfolio of brands. But then, disaster. In 2015, the world learned a new word, Dieselgate. Volkswagen had installed defeat devices in their diesel cars, millions of them. The scandal erupted in the USA and quickly spread globally. It was a massive blow to Volkswagen's reputation. Trust, built over decades, vanished overnight. The smell was awful. Fines, recalls, lawsuits. The costs were astronomical. Heads rolled. Volkswagen faced billions in fines. The company's leadership was in turmoil. The very future of the company seemed to hang in the balance. Dieselgate was an existential crisis for Volkswagen. The scandal forced Volkswagen to rethink its future. The electric jolt, a shocking pivot to batteries. The fallout from Dieselgate was immense. Volkswagen had to do something drastic to survive. They called it Transform 2025 Plus. The core idea? Embrace electric mobility. Massive investment in electric vehicles, dozens of new electric models, across all its brands. Developing the MEB platform. Ambitious EV sales targets, aiming for global leadership. The ID series was the first wave. The ID.3, a golf-sized electric hatchback, launched in 2020, the electric people's car. Then came the ID.4, an electric SUV, followed by the ID.5 and ID. Buzz, the ID. Buzz, a retro-styled electric van. These ID models represented Volkswagen's electric ambitions, packed with technology and decent range. VW was leading the charge. Volkswagen's pivot to electric vehicles was bold. The company's future was now tied to electric mobility. The ID series marked a new era. Volkswagen was determined to lead the electric revolution. The company's reinvention was underway. The electric future was now. Charging ahead Volkswagen's electric future and global game. Volkswagen's marketing has always been clever. For the ID. Buzz, they lean heavily on nostalgia. That iconic microbus shape updated for the electric age. It evokes happy memories, freedom, and a bit of hippie cool. But it's also about the future zero emissions, sustainable travel. Today the Volkswagen Group is a sprawling empire of brands. It's not just VW cars, there's Audi, Porsche, Seat, Cupra, Škoda, Bentley, Lamborghini, Bugatti, Ducati motorcycles, and Scania and MAN trucks. This breadth gives the group resilience and reach. Globally, Volkswagen is a manufacturing behemoth. They have factories all over the world. China is a massive market for them. They sell more cars in China than anywhere else. Europe remains their home turf and a critical sales region. Wolfsburg is still the heart. This global footprint means they can adapt to local needs. Looking ahead, Volkswagen has ambitious goals. They want to be the world leader in electric vehicles by 2030. Sustainability is now at the core of their strategy. Reducing carbon footprint, using sustainable materials. The journey from the original Beetle, born in dark times, is extraordinary. From a single people's car to a global group leading an electric revolution. Volkswagen's story is far from over. The next chapter is electric.